On August 2021, a recent and shocking discovery was made that linked over 100 brain tumors to a single high school situated in New Jersey, Colonia High School. A former graduate of the school named Lupiano was the first person who noticed a trend of other school attendees having some form of a brain tumor. He himself was diagnosed with acoustic neuroma, a benign brain tumor, nearly 22 years ago. This alone didn't prompt the investigation, when his wife was also recently diagnosed with the same primary brain tumor. He knew something was out of the ordinary. A trip to the neurologist would confirm how absurd it was that a married couple had the same exact tumor. Lupiano was alerted that even his own sister had a brain tumor, but hers was fatal, and she ended up passing away in February of that year. She was 44 years old at the time of her death, with a stage 4 glioblastoma diagnosis. Lupiano, his wife, and his sister all had something in common. They attended Colonia High School. It didn't take long until he had compiled a list of 117 people who also had brain tumors. His list included names and phone numbers. A 1981 graduate passed away in 2016 due to a head-neck tumor, while a 1998 graduate was diagnosed with astrocytoma, a cancer within the brainstem. When he got to the 100th person, he wrote a chilling message on his Facebook page saying, "I never in my worst nightmare envisioned ever hitting this milestone. That's 100 people with their life forever changed. 100 families having to be told the terrible news. 100 stories of shock and disbelief with a diagnosis. I pray we find answers." This group of people primarily attended the school in the years of 1972 to 2000, with an outlier who graduated in 2014. Even those who did not attend the school reached out to Lupiano to let him know that even though they reside a mile away from the school, they call their block Cancer Alley. Lupiano was not the only person to experience his close relatives being affected by these brain tumors. Another individual by the name of Jason Wisniewski informed news outlets that he lost both his wife and his sister to brain cancer. His wife passed away 10 years ago, and his sister passed away in 2015. Both attended Colonia High School. This horrendous discovery prompted the municipal council to conduct radiological testing on April 9, 2022. A team of engineers and environmentalists placed radon canisters within the building to collect and record radon levels. As of this day, the results are pending and additional testing is still being conducted. They are predicting that the results will be available in the middle of May 2022. According to the officials, despite the cancer cluster, there is no health threat to the students, staff, or visitors of Colonia High School at this time. As such, the school remains open to everyone. Additionally, a more critical spokesperson of Woodbridge emphasized that the alleged brain cancer cluster has not been confirmed on a federal, state, or county level. He further indicated that the information posted on social media by Lupiano has not been verified. According to him, Lupiano has not disclosed the specifics of his findings, how he even got to his list of people, and if the people reaching out do indeed share similar ties. They have noted, however, that they are taking the concerns seriously, and at this point, no definitive conclusions could be made. Lupiano has accused the Environmental Protection Agency, the CDC, and the Federal Agency for Toxic Substance and Disease for being unresponsive and non-committal. He stated that the New Jersey agency, although they were appreciative of being informed about this alleged cluster, they did not initially seem to want to get involved, and according to him, they almost brushed it off. He further predicts that if the results are not disclosed within 2 weeks, there will be a public outcry where people will yell and scream and run out of patience. The official U.S. website for cancer states that a cancer cluster is defined as a greater than expected number of cancer cases occurring within a group of individuals in a specific geographic area over a specific time period. Additionally, it is mentioned on their page that a cancer cluster investigation usually results in one of the three outcomes. The first and most common being that there actually wasn't any true cancer cluster to begin with. The second outcome that occurs less frequently is that it is a true cancer cluster, but the cause is unknown. And the third outcome, also known as the rarest, is if a cancer cluster has been identified along with the cause. To put this into statistics, it is documented that out of 500 cancer cluster cases investigated throughout 20 years, only 1 in 8 have been true cancer clusters, and only 1 case has determined a cause. Toms River, located in New Jersey, is an example of the third outcome. In the 1990s, there was a surge of childhood cancers, and the investigation concluded that this was a true cancer cluster, caused by the accumulation of toxic chemicals that contaminated the drinking water. During the same time, 2 corporations were linked to the contamination. Sibagiji Corporation was operating a dye manufacturing plant in the Toms River. The waste products were either placed inside 47,000 drums or poured into the Atlantic Ocean. The Environmental Protection Agency discovered that the waste was actually seeping into the groundwater. In 1971, the Union Carbide rented some farm area to discard 4,500 waste drums, and unbeknownst to them, they were directly above an aquifer, which was the entire township's main water source. In response to the family's cries, the New Jersey Department of Health studied the case and discovered that 90 children were diagnosed with the various forms of cancer that revolved around leukemia, brain, and central nervous systems. The number of childhood cancers surpassed the national rate, which is one of the key signifiers that this was indeed a true cancer cluster. The companies did not acknowledge liability and agreed to a multi-million-dollar settlement with 69 families and children who have been diagnosed with cancer or passed away because of it. Given these stats and ambiguity of the alleged cluster in Colonia High School, everything at this point is speculation without any data, which has led to undefined theories. One being that the radiation from a rock containing uranium in a science lab caused all of this. While it sounds like a reach, anything is a possibility right now. On the outside, Colonia High School just looks like your ordinary school. While the number of cases do stand out, they have not been verified. Nonetheless, an investigation is necessary, and locals are looking forward to the results and if a conclusion can be made. If nothing is discovered from the high school itself, Lupiano has recommended that they will need to investigate other candidates in the area, specifically the soil or air itself. Hopefully we get some answers soon, because this is indeed a scary case. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content.